How's it going, everyone? So we have this mower here, and I can't tell you, even though I have a video on this, I'll make another one to make it easier because this one's really easy to see on how to adjust a Honda governor. Now this is going to be the same for any Honda. This one just is a lot easier to see. So let's go ahead and sit down, make this quick little adjustment, and move forward. And here we are with the governor. Well, the governor's inside, the governor arm. So right now, this is our governor arm. This is just a plate, but we see everything we need to see. Now, we want to look at a couple things. Now, before we continue, why are we doing this? If your mower is running at full speed, you can actually damage your mower by not having it run at the appropriate speed. Inside there, the governor is just simply like a gear with a bunch of weighted, like a bunch of weights on there that will, due to centrifugal force, will force the governor arm to move, therefore adjusting the speed of the engine. So now that we know what it is, we don't want it to run super fast. We need to lower down to the appropriate level, and Honda made it easy for us, luckily. So we have a 10 millimeter. I'm using a socket. You can use a wrench, doesn't really matter, and a pair of generic pliers. As long as you can use needle nose, I just find these to be a little easier because we are going to have to do a little bit of adjusting. Now we need to push the carburetor to full throttle. If you have a throttle on your handlebar, don't use that. That's not a good idea. You're not going to get a good enough adjustment. So how you know we're in full throttle? It's a little dirty, my apologies, but this is the adjustment screw per se for idle. So we do not want this arm, see this, that moves, to be touching that like this. We want it to be like that. So that tells us we need to push it to the rear of the machine, like so. Now we need to hold it like so. All we need to do is loosen the nut. We don't want to take it off. I mean, you can. It's going to be a lot harder if you take it off. And it doesn't even have to be very loose. Like, that's probably enough. Now, usually you would be doing this with your hand on the throttle, like so. But see this little thing right here and this little bar? See how I can kind of move it? Kind of see this clip moving too? Right now, if I were to do it this way, that's like basically full throttle. No slowing down. Even if you have a throttle on your handle, it's still going to be horribly fast. And no, you don't want to leave it that way. Clockwise, all the way. Governor arm being held into place securely by your hand or something, and then tighten. Now I kind of moved it a little bit, so let's make sure nothing came out of adjustment. It did not. There we go. Good and tight. Now if we did it right, everything should be slow when we first turn it on. Let's give it a pull, see what happens. Now, we should be ready. This does have a choke on the handle, so I'm going to put on a choke. If yours is automatic, you don't have to do that, obviously. put the air filter back on because it's surging a little bit. The air filter puts a little extra drag on it, a little less air. It has to be filtered, so that's why it was kind of surging. But what you did hear is it's no longer over revving. Something you should also pay attention to is if you have any linkages or that little side plate, sometimes they could get super complicated, especially the ones that have like a manual choke. If any one of those pieces is getting hung up or bent, or if your spring that is on the governor arm I've seen like mud wasps and make nests there, it won't actually spring. Stuff like that. Make sure everything is good and clean and free moving. Same thing with the carburetor. If when you move the throttle arm or the governor arm and it's stuck because the carburetor's stuck, that's your problem right there. You don't need to adjust your governor. You need to clean your carburetor. So assuming everything's free moving and for whatever reason became out of adjustment, time, stuff happens, that's how you readjust it. This is good for GCV 160, 190. If you have a 200, the newer ones, all those. Horizontal shaft, it's very, very similar. It's a little bit different depending on your application, but if you have a Honda lawnmower, this is for every single one of them. Doesn't matter what plate you have. You should be able to adjust it exactly like this, no issue. I'm going to leave you at that. Follow me on Instagram at SmallEngine101. If you like what you see, keep watching, subscribe. Definitely put a thumbs up if this helped you out. If it did help you out, leave a comment below on how it did and what machine you're working on. And if you have any questions, consider becoming a member. Personalized help is one of the perks. Catch you on the next video. Have a good night.